Poverty is just overwhelming my area. You either dig coal, sell dope, or join the Army. And when I got to community college, I realized, I'm smart enough to where I can be anything I want to be. And I knew from the time I started college that I wanted to be an attorney.
You watch TV shows and law is sexy. So I always wanted to be that person who helped, but I kind of let that go because I thought it was too expensive, too time consuming. But after my daughter was born, I decided that I should be able to tell her that she can do whatever she wants to do, and I should be able to tell her that I attempted to do whatever it was that I wanted to do.
When I was 14, I had to go to Knox County Juvenile Court. There were some people there who just treated me like it didn't matter what they said or what my punishment was. I was never going to change. You would have situations where kids really needed help and really needed that attention, and they decided not to put the resources in.
Growing up, I saw how the laws tend to always favor people with money. And being that I come from a single wide trailer and 3 miles down the dirt road, my friends and their families, whether it would be legal issues, family issues, they fell victims to something they shouldn't fall victim to.
My grandfather got sick. He applied for black lung benefits and got denied black lung benefits. And so for the last 3 years, we had to watch him slowly suffocate to death and die because he couldn't get the help that he needed. And then there's so few lawyers out there that are willing to go out and say, hey, we'll go and fight for you. And I'm like, I don't care how much money I make. I just want to go home and I want to fight for people like him.
My father had to drop out of school because his father became really ill. And I remember one time, the defining moment that I knew I was going to get educated was I had a job after school, and I was real sick that day. And I went home, they sent me home, and my father got so irate that I went home, from work early. And he grabbed me by the neck and said, poor people don't have the luxury of going home when they're sick. He made me get in the car and go back to work. And they wouldn't let me in because I was sick, so I just sit out there and swept the floor.
I had a sister. She actually passed away a month after I started law school here. That definitely was a thought of, I can't do this anymore. I have to dedicate my time to my family now. The fact that I owed so much student debt, I had no choice. I had to stay here.
If I got a need-based scholarship, that would help me so much in focusing more on my studies, because half the time you're worried about how you're going to do on your finals, and the other half of the time you're worried, wow, how am I going to pay rent in December?
I think the number one way a scholarship like this could help people, as far as now, alleviating the debt now, alleviating the burden, the stress, the fear, but it also allows freedom, and freedom to choose maybe a career in law that might not be so lucrative at first, but serves a greater purpose.
I want to go home and serve my community, and LMU wants to train good lawyers to go back to rural communities and serve these underprivileged areas.
It's my goal one day to be able to return that favor back to children that were just like me, because I know what it's like to be that kid and to need that help and not get it.
As a parent, obviously you want your child to be the savior of the universe. So we have this really great relationship, and she tells me that she's Wonder Woman, and being able to come to law school, I can tell her that even if I tried and failed, that I tried, and I never ever gave up, no matter how hard it was or how I cried silently at night or stressed, like I'd never let it get me down. So I just want to be her superhero.